Well, now we are tracking developments that are new tonight in Baltimore. At least 6 people are still unaccounted for after that major bridge collapse there.
Here's what we know right now. A massive cargo ship leaving Baltimore Harbor lost all power and crashed into a support column on the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It caused a partial collapse of the 1.6-mile-long bridge, sending up to 20 vehicles and several people into the water. The ship did issue a mayday call before the crash, which prompted officials to shut down the bridge, potentially saving lives. No drivers were traveling on the span at the time, but there were construction vehicles and workers on it. 2 people have been rescued. At least 6 people are missing.
We're going to send all the federal resources they need as we respond to this emergency.
We're going to be working closely with the National Transportation Safety Board as they lead their independent investigation, and with the Coast Guard as they continue operations in the water.
Officials say there were no structural issues with the bridge, and it was fully up to code ahead of the crash.
Now, multiple Minnesota politicians responded to that collapse today, remembering our own tragic day, the 35W bridge collapse. That was August 1st, 2007. Senator Amy Klobuchar reflecting on the similarities.
The things that these 2 tragedies have in common, first of all, first responders, heroes, didn't run away from the tragedy, ran to it. In both cases, not really knowing at first, what is this, what happened, but they knew their jobs. In Minnesota, rescuing dozens of people who had fallen in the water and saving their lives. In Baltimore, the fact that they so quickly decided, the construction workers, to stop the cars after they heard about the Mayday, so many more people would have been killed. As I said the day the 35W bridge collapsed, a bridge just shouldn't fall down in the middle of America. But when it does, we rebuild. And I'm sure they're thinking the same thing in Baltimore today.
We can tell you Governor Walz said the state is offering any resources Baltimore needs in the wake of that collapse. And you heard the senator say, you know, first responders are key in all of this. And they were here in August of 2007, and they will not forget what they saw and what they learned.
The bridge collapse here changed emergency response to mass casualty incidents. Eric Chaloux talked to a man who helped run the emergency response here in Minneapolis and then was the fire chief in Baltimore. Eric.
Yeah, Jim Clack has been doing a lot of thinking today about the department he once led, the Baltimore Fire Department that's responding to the bridge collapse. Before going to Baltimore, Clack led the Minneapolis Fire Department through their own disaster. The Minneapolis bridge collapse is one that has been studied by first responders across the country. The deadly 35W bridge collapse in Minneapolis stunned the community more than 16 years ago.
It's a once-in-a-career event.
Jim Clack was Minneapolis fire chief at the time.
What I remember is the firefighters and how well they responded. I was just so proud.
Clack later went to Baltimore Fire to become their chief, a department now responding to their own bridge collapse disaster.
I'm sure you brought some of that knowledge with you to Baltimore Fire, what you learned from the Minneapolis collapse.
I sure hope so.
Clack says lessons learned from previous disasters helps first responders when tragedy strikes in their community.
We try to learn from each other. You know, the best teacher is your own experience, but the fire service is really good about sharing.
Before the 35W bridge collapse in 2007, the city of Minneapolis took part in specialized federal training that Clack credits with helping first responders that evening over the Mississippi River.
The mayor and city council gave us the resources to upgrade our radios, buy better equipment, get some more training.
One area the former chief says they hadn't planned for that day was firefighters in the water in their standard gear.
We found that was not a good policy in the water because turnout gear is heavy, and when it gets wet, it gets heavier. So you don't really want to have that on. You need different equipment. And so that was one of the learnings from that.
A part of a first responder's job that training can't always provide all the answers for is helping the victims' families experiencing tragedy.
Getting information to the families as soon as we can about what we know and supporting them, loving them. They're going through the worst day of their life.
Many long hours ahead and days ahead for those Baltimore first responders, those state and federal agencies involved in the search and rescue and the investigation at the bridge collapse in Baltimore. Eric Chaloux, 5 Eyewitness News.